Alrighty. It's another day. Another video with me with my hood on while taking my walk. This time I got a Rockstar, one of my favorite flavors. Honestly, I think maybe this segment should be called Hoodie Walks and Talks or something. I don't know. Anyways, hope you guys are all doing well. Today I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind for quite some time. I know the last video I posted was, basically tips for beginners to establish that mind-muscle connection. Now, what I want to talk about today, I think for the most part I'm still addressing beginners. But some of y'all will be OGs, some of y'all will be old heads, some of y'all will just be, regulars at the gym for maybe the past few years. But I think this is mostly towards beginners still. What I want to talk about today is gym etiquette, gym courtesy. And the reason that's been so important, and I've been on my mind lately a lot, is because, just like I said in my last video, it's a new era, right? Especially post-COVID. A lot has changed real fast. And, some things have maybe changed for the better. We don't have to get into that. I can't really pinpoint too much. This inflation is crazy. But, some can say some things have changed for the better. Maybe, people have experienced growth. People prioritize health more than they used to. More gym memberships. More people caring about fitness and health and whatnot. And so the industry from what I see it's kind of booming right now, right? Making up for the losses it experienced during COVID. That being said, it's important to touch on this gym courtesy and gym etiquette, especially with these changing times. So let's get right to it. First thing I want to talk about today is racking your weights. Now, we have influencers today such as, Joey Swole. He's been in the lifting, bodybuilding industry for quite some time. I've been following him for at least the past, I'd say maybe 5 years. And so, I've been watching his videos for quite some time now and following him on Instagram and whatnot. And so he's been a part of the industry for quite some time. I believe he's also a former IFBB pro, but don't quote me on that. So we do have good people, talking about stuff like this. But right now, I think his main focus is exposing unwelcoming people at the gym or bullies at the gym, right? Today's version of that. But, we're not going to dive too far into that. We'll let him take care of that. I actually want to talk about, so first thing I want to talk about is re-racking your weights. I know, it's very cliche. Everyone says you should do it. We all know this. But I don't think we do. So, I've been an LA Fitness member for years. I've gone to some private gyms. But I've been noticing something. Now, see, a lot of private gyms, they don't let stuff like this slide, right? Now, your memberships will get canceled if you do, or there's like a strike policy or something. If you're caught leaving weights, being a dickhead, etc. But a lot of these corporate gyms don't have any policies, really, or they don't really enforce them. I think this is something that should have a strike policy, in my opinion. Now, it's sad to see the LA Fitness that I go to, I've been going to for many years, and I'm starting to see even the regulars start doing the same thing. Maybe people just have the same mentality nowadays where, You know, they're kind of just like, well, if so-and-so is not doing it, if the last person didn't do it, if XYZ didn't do it, why should I do it? And, you know, I'm not calling anybody out, but, you know, people like to be the same. They like following the herd and doing the same shit as everybody else, but it doesn't work, really. You know, it's not a very productive cycle. But regardless, you know, I started noticing a lot more that there's more and more people just leaving their weights, not giving a shit about others. And I'm not even just talking about plates on machines. I'm talking about dumbbells all over the floor, not returning dumbbells to their proper spots, leaving them in the way, you know, and then on top of that, even leaving the dumbbells disorganized. I think we got to start focusing on this again. You know, now there are some unspoken rules, you know, if it's like a leg press or something like that. You know, boom, you leave a plate on. It all depends on the time of day. Maybe you see that all the previous lifters before you, or, you know, people that are coming after you, are at least starting with a plate. But everything else, put that shit away. It's really not that hard. Like, if you have the ability to lift this weight and you have the ability to move this weight around, stop being lazy ass, inconsiderate, and put your goddamn weight back. It's not hard to put the 20s where the 20s go. And I know sometimes everything's messed up and you got to do what you got to do, right? No one is asking you to fix the whole rack. You didn't sign up to work there. You're a member that comes to work out, for sure. But let's start being courteous, you know. There's elders that come to the gym. There's women that come to the gym. And before I get some sort of, you know, misogyny label, I just speak facts. I'm a realist. And so you better wait for me because I'm crossing the street. You know, men are generally stronger than women. This is generally the case, right? Point is, let's be courteous. Let's be chivalrous. There's elders. People don't need to be tripping around the gym over your weights that you couldn't put back. People don't need to go around the gym looking for the 20s or the 30s or whatever, you know. It's just inconsiderate. It's bogus. It's really not that hard. You know, no one's asking you to, you know, wax and spit shine the equipment. Just put your weights away, right? Promise you, in those few seconds, you won't lose gains. You'll actually, you know, you might make some more gains. Who knows? But at the very least, you're not losing anything. Second thing I wanted to talk about was being respectful of, you know, the pictures or videos that you're taking. Now, I'm not going to lie. You know, I've had my days where I had my moments, right? And maybe one or two of my homies can attest while I was at the gym and trying to film videos back in the day just for my own progress, right? Not even to really post. There were a couple times where, you know, I got a little crabby, or I just wasn't too happy when someone walked in the way of my video. But of course, you know, those days, I mean, they happened, and, you know, it was just a couple incidences and nothing came out of it. It was just, you know, it was just my attitude at the time. Point is, I even had to check myself. Now, everyone pays the same membership fee to be at the gym that you go to, right? You are no more special than others. Whether you have more gains, more followers, doesn't matter. You're not more special than anybody else, and you're paying the same membership fee that the next person is paying. So be courteous of that. You know, locker room pics, all that kind of stuff. It's cool, man. But again, be courteous. There's people that, you know, no old guy who's naked has to be caught up in that. You know, that's someone's father at the end of the day. That's somebody's, you know, that's somebody's sibling. That's somebody's, grandfather, somebody's uncle, no one needs to be caught up in that. These people have been most likely coming to the gym long before you have, right? So your gains are not any more important than they are. They might be to you, but at the end of the day, humble yourself. It's God who gives us this. God could take it away in a matter of seconds. We can wake up even the next day, not having the abilities that we once had. And those times are coming, right? As we get older, we will be humbled. This is a cycle of life. So take pictures, take videos, if that's what you like to do, if you're measuring your progress. Just don't be entitled. No one owes you anything. This is not your private studio. If you have a problem, go to a private gym and, record there or something like that. Get your own gym, whatever. But if you're out in public, it's a public space. Be mindful, be courteous, be humble. The last thing I want to touch up on is how we treat others, right? How we look at others, and it kind of ties into the last couple of things I said, just being mindful, being courteous, being humble, etc. But I've noticed a shift, right? And this is kind of why I'm making this video. Gym culture's kind of shifted. And there was a level of camaraderie, right? There was a level to where people were able to come, feel like it was their safe space. You interact with the OGs interact with you. People help each other out. You spot each other, you share equipment, etc. All of a sudden, here we are, 2023, people are having problems. And I'm not just speaking from my perspective. I have a lot of fellow homies who go to the gym and experience the same problems and or have, at least this year. People just have problems, sharing equipment and just being courteous and calm and, just good to each other, right? Again, this ties back to what I said last. You pay the same gym membership fee, but that other person pays the same gym membership fee as you. So it's not your equipment. If it's not your last set, or, you're not doing some extreme superset or something like that you need to have 30-second rest between or something, just share the weight, share the equipment. There's nothing wrong with that. Especially if somebody is coming to ask you, right? You don't know if that person has anxiety or if that person is going through it. But if someone has, summing up the courage to come and ask you to share equipment, or to hop in or whatever, let them hop in. Again, I promise you're not going to lose your gains. Let's get back to that era, or create a new era again. 2023 version of where we are supportive of each other. We don't look down on each other for, who trains how and, who's doing what. We're supportive, we're respectful. There's that camaraderie again. I know there's a lot more female lifters these days than there used to be in the past. So, just be welcoming of everybody, and, no one is better than the other person, right? Let's create a time and an environment where we respect each other, we look out for each other. And, for all of us, the gym is our safe space. The gym is something we're all trying to better ourselves, fight demons, work on our health, etc. Let's keep that in mind for others. And, we all head in a better direction, and the results are always better when you're doing it together, right? So with that being said, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Savory Ape out.